Everybody knows being a YouTuber isn't a proper job, is it? Sitting alone in your bedroom making videos of yourself. Ridiculous, nonsense, filth. And so today I'm off to rejoin the world of work with a real job at North Japan's most acclaimed traditional inn, Takinami Ryokan. About a year ago, we actually went and did a documentary there, one of my favourite videos of the year, where we discovered the highs and lows of owning a traditional Japanese inn. It's not an easy thing to do. And in particular, what makes Takinami so special is 10 years ago, it almost went bankrupt. It almost had to close its doors. And yet, thanks in large part to the charismatic and, dare I say, slightly crazy owner, Minami-san, he was able to turn it all around and go on to win a ton of awards with his amazing team. But it's a ton of awards they now run the risk of losing. Once I get behind the scenes and start working in the kitchen, it's not going to end well for anybody, is it? We all know that. But when Minami-san rang me up last week and offered me the chance to work there, I knew I had to take it, I knew I had to do it. And I hope it's a decision he doesn't live to regret.
Welcome back, Christian! Welcome back! Welcome back.
Good to see you, good to see you.
Yeah.
It's already been about a year, right? Just over a year.
Yes, 18 months.
That's crazy. Time flies, right? This is new though.
Yeah, this is a new crop
Wow.
from a good rice harvest. I think this is the #1 rice in the world.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, let's head in. It's good to be back here though.
Yes.
Good to be back.
It's your home.
It's good to be home. Being one of the top ryokans in all of North Japan, Takinami has a formidable team of over 20 exceptional staff, all handpicked by the boss himself for being the best of the very best. And while Minami-san has informed me he needs a bit of Dutch courage to speak in front of the camera today, in the form of a whiskey highball, you do have to wonder if the drink is perhaps to mask the sheer regret of lumbering his A-team with Britain's most slipshod individual. Oh boy. So good to see you.
Good to see you again, Chris. Good morning.
Drinking a highball in the morning.
I'm so nervous to relax me myself.
I've got coffee, much needed. It's good to see you. How has business been at Takinami Ryokan the last 18 months since I last saw you?
We are honored to be selected as #1 small luxury hotel in Japan, 2022, 2023. So we are aiming at again in this year.
Like every year you get it. So good, well done. But tomorrow,
Yep.
I'm going to be working at
Yes,
Takinami Ryokan. I haven't had a proper job in many years now as a YouTuber. So I'm looking
So
forward
before breakfast operation, we'll start at 7:30. So
7:30.
please come to join our team exact at 6 o'clock. Exact.
to it. 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Oh, yay. 6 o'clock in the morning, oh my god. I'm very much looking forward to working here tomorrow.
Yes.
Minami-san. Not
Yep.
so sure about getting up at 6, but looking forward to it. So.
Yes.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Wish me luck. As the sun rises over a brisk Yamagata morning, Minami-san informs me that getting up at 6 AM wasn't just an elaborate means with which to torture me. Instead, it's part of the staff induction process, whereby new members of the team join the boss for a bonding exercise out in the natural surroundings around Takinami for something of a spiritual awakening at a rather unique destination further upstream. Though it is indeed more of a literal awakening, given I've yet to have my morning coffee. Brr. The perfect start to the day. It does exist. It might be 6:45 in the morning, which is normally when I go to bed when I'm editing, but I couldn't imagine to be a better place. Here we are in Mifuchi Gorge, and this is Minami-san's favourite morning spot.
Good morning, Christian.
So you start your day here. This is your favourite way.
Yes.
And how do you feel when you come here?
Yeah, very fresh.
Fresh.
Yeah. So we have to row.
How
2
long?
kilometers.
2
kilometers.
2
It
kilometres?
takes one hour. So
Oh, okay, all right. Well, it's quite the morning workout. All right,
Yes.
2 kilometres up the gorge. Let's make it happen. Let's go. Can't believe it's already been 18 months since I last did this. I actually think about it quite a lot. Whenever I'm stuck in traffic in Tokyo, I kind of remember coming out here, kayaking 6 AM in the morning through the trees. If I lived out here, my God, life would be good. I'd do wonders for my blood pressure, that's for sure. Ah, my God, gliding carefree through the calm waters on a beautiful morning, it sure beats Tokyo rush hour. As we approach the impressive gorge, however, things take a somewhat darker turn. Local legend has it that this was the spot where Princess Unohana, daughter of the powerful leader of the Abe clan and an actual ancestor of the former Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, threw herself off the cliff into the waters below as a final act of defiance against approaching enemy forces. And her spirit supposedly protects the villagers around the gorge to this very day. Pretty cool to start your day with an epic quest through a gorge, and it's not even 7:30 in the morning. Who'd have thought the day could start so dramatically in the most enchanting kind of scenic backdrop? This is incredible. This really is. It definitely was worth the 2-kilometre journey upriver for this.
So it is a very sacred place. So Princess Unohana threw herself
Off of here.
From the very rocky cliff, and
40 retainers.
Followed her.
God.
40 detainers.
It's quite chilling to think they jumped in here.
Almost 1,000 years ago.
1,000 years ago. That's when my friend Ryokan was born. Having been successfully baptised into the Takinami Ryokan staff, our pleasant morning spent floating downstream comes to an abrupt end as we head back to the inn to start actually doing some real work. It's 7:30 a.m. and the staff at Takinami have been up since 5 a.m, tasked with preparing the breakfast service for bleary-eyed guests. Unfortunately, it seems not everyone gets to enjoy a majestic kayak ride down a gorge. And as guests sit down to eat their breakfast, the kitchen staff are given a chance to enjoy their own, as they discuss topics for the day ahead, such as why on earth is there suddenly a British guy in the kitchen? And what turns out to be a genuinely awful surprise for the team. It turns out Minami-san hasn't actually told anyone I'm joining for the day.
Good morning, Chris-san. Good morning. So this is Chris, our new employee, starting today. Okay.
健康食みたいでVery healthy イギリスだったらいっぱいソーセージとベーコン食べるけど
ソーセージ大好き
そう体にいい食べ物だソーセージ料理With breakfast out of the way and any cultural barriers crossed by a mutual love of sausages, Chef Nakagawa-san shows me to his workstation where he's preparing a spectacular cut of Yonezawa Wagyu beef for tonight's dinner service. 3 kilograms. 一人で食べられる。3 kilo. My dinner. For some reason, it's been determined I can't be trusted with Japan's most expensive cut of Wagyu beef, and so I'm given a task more befitting a man of my capabilities. Starting off with carefully measuring portions of miso under the guidance of Seto-san, one of the kitchen team. A task that's not as easy as it would first appear, as every measurement has to be precise to the exact gram. Oh my god.
Okay.
I couldn't get 125 grams perfect. She does one scoop perfect. It keeps going 14.5 to 15.5 grams and I can't get 15 grams. Yes! Yeah. And that is why I stay out of the kitchen. I can never get the perfect amount of grams of miso. That was ridiculous. Those scales are broken. She's very good though. With miso out of the way and Seto-san left with the unenviable job of fixing my measurements off camera, we move on to preparing vegetables, making sure each stem of the locally sourced akakarashina, or mustard greens, is hand-torn from the leaves. At last, something I'm finally good at, tearing apart plants. I forgot what it's like to do an honest day's work. This YouTuber influencer rubbish. It's good to be back in the kitchen. Albeit last time I was in the kitchen I wasn't anywhere near the food. I was taking it to the customers. It's a bit more precarious. My next task, however, is not so simple, as Hisamatsu-san guides me through the process of cutting and measuring out Yamagata's famed La France pears. Top-notch motor skills and sharp Japanese knives. What could possibly go wrong? Oh my god. Slicing off most of the pear. It's supposed to be slicing off the skin, and all I've done is like slice the pear to pieces. Wasted a perfectly good Yamagata pear here today. I hope no Michelin star chefs come to Takinami Ryokan today. Drop by. Why is the pear not sliced? Why is the miso taste off? Speed run Takinami Ryokan destruction, honestly. Having spent the morning sabotaging Takinami Ryokan's hopes of receiving a Michelin star, I'm escorted from the kitchens to join another team who are busy preparing the inn's 22 rooms for the soon-to-be arriving guests. And with each and every room featuring its very own hot spring bath, it's finally time to get my hands dirty. Oh, working at a traditional inn is hungry business. Luckily for me though, I've got some tasty snacks to see me through the shift from today's sponsor, Sakurako. Sakurako is a monthly Japanese artisan snack box that supports local snack makers, with each box packed full of 20 traditional authentic treats, including Japanese teas and even unique tableware. And this month's theme is Holidays in Hokkaido, a time to celebrate amidst the snowy landscapes of Japan's most northern prefecture. The box starts with this beautiful booklet explaining the stories behind each and every snack, as well as the all-important allergy information. And as always, the box ends in my mouth, starting with, it's got to be the Hokkaido Milk Danish. Oh man, it smells so good. When you think of Hokkaido, you think of dairy products, milk, butter, cheese, and this smells so damn buttery and rich. Look at that. Oh, it has the most soft, beautiful texture, like velvet. Delightful. Next up, it's got to be this. That's so cool. This is a Mount Fuji senbei, a wonderfully hand-baked senbei cracker with a dusting of sugar on top to resemble Mount Fuji. Oh, it's bloody good. It's not every day you get to devour Mount Fuji. And it pairs wonderfully with the Hokkaido Genmaicha tea, placed rather elegantly atop the shonzui flour dish that comes with the box. Ah yes, refinement. And this month, to celebrate the holiday season, we've also got a box from Tokyo Treat, packed full of festive delights, from white chocolate crepe Kit Kats to premium Ghana holiday chocolate truffles. I've been spoiled, I really have. Whether you're buying a Sakurako or Tokyo Treat box for your lucky friends, or greedily keeping it all for yourself, you can grab one for yourself, linked away in the description box below. Most guests in a Japanese inn typically stay one night, and unlike regular hotels where guests check in and then head off elsewhere around town, ryokans are an all-inclusive getaway. Travellers are expected to check in, relax in their rooms, have a kaiseki multi-course dinner, and of course have a deep soak in the hot spring bath. And Takinami Ryokan's secret weapon is it's one of the few ryokans in North Japan where every single room has its own hot spring bath, either carved from stone or a traditional hinoki wooden style. During COVID, it was a saving grace for the hotels when guests were reluctant to share a space in the public baths. And to ensure the baths remain perfect, Takinami employs special staff known as yumori to maintain the meticulous conditions, a combination of the right temperature of 42 degrees, the balance of pH levels, and the preservation of the natural minerals when they bubble up into the bath. It's a crucial task that falls to Iwase-san, who at the very least I can assist by jumping in the tub and giving it a jolly good scrub. The process can take up to 30 minutes for a single bath, even one of the smaller stone baths such as this, but it has to be done to ensure each nook and cranny is well and truly polished to perfection. Honestly, after a few of these baths, you'll be needing a soak in the onsen yourself. Oh, it's pretty hard work, albeit the funnest thing I've done so far. It's really nice having the water splash over your feet while you clean it. And also, as hard as it is, like brushing a stone bath, you've got to go really hard to polish it. It is very satisfying. Something quite nice about brushing a stone bath, cleaning it, polishing it. You know, it's made out of a single block of stone, and it is one hell of a bath to sit inside. But Iwase-san has a lot of baths to do. I think there's 26 baths in the entire Takinami Ryokan, so he's got his work cut out, that's for sure. Probably one of the biggest workouts you can get working here, cleaning and polishing all the amazing baths. With the stone bath polished to perfection, it's time to head on to bed making, a job that even Minami-san himself gets stuck into each and every morning, somewhat unusually for a Japanese business owner. According to my bed making senpai Yamaki-san, a bed like this should take a grand total of 5 minutes to complete. Easy enough, right? Let's hope Takinami pays well for overtime. Look at that, finally, something I can do, something I can be good at. Keep me out of the kitchen, I'll stick to bed making. I felt like I was in a TikTok video or something. In Japan, they make beds different. They don't. But yeah, there was definitely a technique to it there. Yamaki-san knew what he was doing, and I felt bad slowing him down because he got a busy morning. Yeah, if you come to the hotel, you could sleep in a bed that I've made. You'll know because it doesn't look as good as the other beds in the hotel. With most of the cleaning work now complete, it's time for a short break, as guests start checking into Takinami from 3 PM. And luckily I have a short chance to relax before getting back to the action. Well, it's been a long, tough morning so far, albeit a fun morning, and I've just checked in to my room for the night. Look at this beautiful stone bath, isn't it magnificent? Check these beds out. Whoever made these beds up knew exactly what they were doing. Yeah, it's the beds I made earlier. Apparently it was so creasy it looked like a fucking mountain range, so they were like, Chris-san, you can have this room for the day. It is a good room though, you know, and I think I made the beds pretty well. But the day is not over yet. I'm going to take a 5-second breather and then jump back in to working, doing a proper job for once. Oh, you choose that job. Just go. For all the physical labour of working in a ryokan, the hardest job of all that the team really faces is something a bit more daunting. As more and more of the Japanese countryside continues to lose its population, the closure of Japan's traditional inns has turned from a trickle into a flood. And the area around Takinami is no exception. With only a population of around 30,000 people in the local city of Nanyō, it's dropped by an astonishing 1,000 people in the last year alone. And with the majority of that population being nearly 60 years old, that decline is sadly showing no signs of stopping. A once bustling hot spring town has now seen the majority of its inns shut up shop, particularly with younger generations moving to larger cities such as Sendai and Tokyo to find work. By Minami-san's own admission, he hopes that some of the guests that visit Takinami Ryokan may end up falling in love with Yamagata enough to consider making it a future home. The strategy is clearly working, as the inn does boast many returning guests, making the pilgrimage 350 kilometers north of Tokyo for a stay, including one individual who returns every single month for several days at a time. In the last 6 years alone, he's stayed at Takinami an astonishing 141 nights, taking his work with him and treating the whole thing as something of a workation. And thankfully, he's not around tonight to eat my sloppily chopped pears. Be a shame to lose that customer. As the sun sets over Takinami and Minami-san takes to preparing the soba noodles for his guests, something he's claimed to have done over 2,000 times in the last decade, he's left me with the most important job of all: taste testing the new seasonal menu of Michelin star chef Harada-san to make sure it's up to scratch. After all, it's not every day the hotel has a refined British palate to rely on. Bring on the mushy peas and sausage sandwiches. Yay, British culture. Oh. So Minami-san has requested that I try the food now that I'm a member of the staff, and I've humbly obliged this request. And we're starting here with pumpkin ravioli with consommé soup. It smells bloody good. Very beautiful dish here. Whoa, that's so bloody good, my god. The cheese, the pumpkin, the consommé soup. It's quite a small dish, right? There's only 3 pieces of ravioli, and yet it was so flavourful. Every bite packed a real punch. The pumpkin, the ravioli, curry powder, and the cheese. It all came together so well. For our next dish, we move on to koi carp, a staple food of the local area. As central Yamagata is a landlocked region without any coastal fishing, it's said in 1802 the lord of the domain, Yozano Isugi, turned to farming koi carp in ponds and rivers throughout the area as a means of supplying high-quality protein to his people. And the dish can be found here in South Yamagata to this very day. Now, looking at this dish, you wouldn't even know it's koi carp, right? It's sort of concealed, this beautiful, sticky, sweet red wine sauce. The koi carp has a very light coating of batter on. And the most striking thing is the powder here. These are all local vegetables that have been sort of ground down into a fine powder, and it just makes it the most beautiful looking dish, and it tastes like a dream. That sweet, sticky red wine sauce, crunchiness of the batter on the koi carp, and the kind of buttery, delicate, fleshy fish that is the koi carp. It all comes together to make just the most incredible dish. And we finish off with a dish of Yonezawa's finest Wagyu beef from matsutake mushrooms. Perhaps I'm in the wrong profession as a YouTuber. having ensured the food is indeed up to Michelin star standards. Unfortunately, I find myself going back to work in the kitchen, under the guidance of the charismatic and long-serving member of the kitchen team, Shimanuki-san. And with each and every champagne flute and wine glass needing to be hand-dried, we've got quite the job ahead of us. Especially as some of the glasses require the precision of a fucking particle accelerator just to get the damn things clean.
この中に溜まってるんです。これがこれどんどんどんどんこれを取るんです。それをさっきの竹串こうつつきます。そしたらこれにこれを巻きます。くるくるくるくる巻きます。
魔法みたいな。
入れてやります。でこうやってこうやってします。
このグラスはいくらですか？高い。
8000円ぐらい。そう。待ってダメだから怒られても何回か割ってるんです。この繰り返し？
そうですね。
嫌い。
そうなの。This is the most difficult glass to clean in the world. It costs 8,000 yen.
OK. ピカピカ。
綺麗。
OK. OK.
And with what seems like an eternity of poking a glass with a stick, I have finally completed my first champagne flute. Yeah! Yay! It's going to be a long night, my God. Just finished work for the day. It's 9:40. Started the day at like 6 o'clock in the morning, going canoeing with the boss, Minami-san, coming back here, tidying up, cleaning brass, making beds, preparing food. It's been a really fun day actually, hanging with the staff. Everyone here, so cool, so friendly, so nice. And yeah, I actually think the highlight was hanging out with Shimanuki-san and cleaning glasses. What a character. It reminded me of my days working at a castle like 15 years ago. Any work environment is bearable as long as you're doing it, working with awesome people, and yeah, you're in safe hands if you ever find yourself working at Takinami Ryokan. What a day, what a day. Now, I'm going to go and crash on the bed. Maybe, dare I say, get in the bath. The next morning, to see me off, I meet with a somewhat relieved Minami-san, whose traditional inn, despite my best efforts, thankfully remains intact. Thank you so much for
welcome.
having me back.
Welcome.
And I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Best of luck with the business.
Yes.
And of course, if you're ever in Yamagata,
Yes.
come here, Takinami Ryokan. You won't regret it, I promise. Unless I'm in the kitchen, which you very much might regret it.
We are looking forward to welcoming you. Bye. Cool.
Alright, I need a drink.